Space has captured the minds of people throughout all of history. However, it wasn't until 1957 that we finally escaped the bounds of Earth. The expeditions that followed would not only satisfy our curiosity, but would also improve mankind's standard of living. In the wake of World War II, the US engaged in a contest with Russia to secure the best mines of Germany. One of the foremost masterminds was a man named von Braun. He was responsible for the development of retribution weapons V1 and V2. Russia capitalized first on the knowledge of rocketry gained from the Germans in 1957, when Sputnik, the very first satellite, was sent into orbit. Motivated to catch up, the US began its new program, Project Mercury. The goal was to put a single human into Earth's orbit and then return the person safely back to Earth. The program was very basic: designing the shape of the capsule, how to land, and life support systems. While the US faced partial successes and failures with this program, the Russians put the first man, Yuri Gagarin, into space. Yuri Gagarin orbited the Earth on April 12, 1961, beating Alan Shepard, the first American in space, by only 3 weeks. The first American to orbit the Earth was John Glenn on February 20th, 1962.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal, before this decade is out, of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth.
President John F. Kennedy set a goal to reach the moon and started the Apollo program. Many developments in technology needed to happen to reach this goal. The Gemini program was initiated to develop the necessary equipment in order to dock with another spacecraft, sustain long-duration spaceflight, and re-enter and land successfully. Despite the number of successful missions there have been in the history of spaceflight, there have also been many failures, of which many lessons have been learned.
This booster was not a Mercury vehicle, but imagine the worst possible situation for the astronaut.
There were a number of failures during the year, and the United States promptly announced them. The first and most spectacular of these was Vanguard at the end of 1957. There were other Vanguard failures.
Houston, we've had a problem.
With the experience gained from repeated failure, the space program not only improved our knowledge of space, but also elevated our standard of living on Earth in a variety of useful ways. The achievements made in spaceflight history that initially began by pressures of the space race have consequently benefited mankind and made its future bright. However, there is still much more to be discovered far past our moon. As spaceflight continues to progress into the future, so will developments in technology and scientific discovery, benefiting our world for generations to come.
It's one small step for man.